The 1960s, a golden era of the automotive industry. It was a time of roaring muscle cars, gleaming chrome curves, and daring designs unlike any other decade. We've all heard of the Mustang, the Camaro, or the Charger, but there's something history doesn't always tell. Many incredible cars, faster, weirder, and sometimes ahead of their time, were forgotten. Some were powered by monstrous American engines, but wrapped in Italian bodies. Others used technology so strange you'd think they were from the future. A few were lost due to bankrupt automakers, while others were simply too rare for anyone to notice. Have you ever heard of the Gordon Keeble, Matra Jet, or Apollo GT? If not, don't worry, because today's list will open a whole new chapter for you. Ready? Let's dive into 12 of the greatest 1960s cars you've never heard of. 1965. Gordon Keeble GK1. The Gordon Keeble GK1 is one of the strangest and most captivating cars of the 1960s, not just for its dreamy design, but for the curious contradictions in its DNA. This sleek two-door GT coupe featured a fiberglass body styled by Italian design house Bertone. But under the hood was a 327 cubic inch Chevy Corvette V8 producing over 300 horsepower. A rare marriage of European beauty and American brute force. Only about 100 cars were built from 1964 to 1967 in the UK. Each was hand-assembled, featuring luxurious leather interiors, wood-trimmed dashboards, and a 0 to 60 miles per hour time of just 6 seconds, blisteringly fast for its time. But perhaps the most memorable detail is its turtle logo. As the story goes, during the first photo shoot of the prototype, a turtle wandered into frame. The founders took it as a sign of good luck and adopted it as the company mascot. Gordon Keeble didn't last long due to financial issues, but the GK1 remains a symbol of a wild dream where Brits, Italians, and Americans joined forces to create a forgotten masterpiece. 1967 Iso Grifo GL350. The Iso Grifo GL350 perfectly defines the phrase Italian muscle grand tourer, a car that blended European elegance with American horsepower. Iso was a small Italian manufacturer better known for scooters and microcars, but in the 1960s, they aimed to take on Ferrari. Styled by Giorgetto Giugiaro at Bertone, the Grifo featured a sleek, long hood design with flowing yet muscular lines. Instead of using a complex V12, Iso made a smart move. They dropped in a 5.4-liter, 327 cubic inch Chevrolet Corvette V8. The result? 300 horsepower, a top speed between 140 to 160 miles per hour, and bulletproof reliability. The driving experience was nearly perfect, powerful, smooth, and stylish. Yet due to its high price, limited distribution, and overshadowing by big names like Ferrari and Maserati, the Grifo quietly faded into obscurity. Today, the Iso Grifo is highly prized among collectors for its uniqueness and rarity. Only about 330 GL350 units were built. 1963 Studebaker Avanti R2. In 1963, while most American automakers were still busy churning out boxy sedans, Studebaker, a struggling underdog, shocked the industry with the Avanti, a sleek, aerodynamic fiberglass-bodied coupe with stunning performance. The most powerful version, the R2, came equipped with a supercharged 289 cubic inch V8, producing 290 horsepower. It could reach speeds over 170 miles per hour, rivaling muscle cars of the era, and was even marketed as the fastest production car in America. But Avanti wasn't just about speed. It also pioneered safety with a reinforced frame, front disc brakes, rare in American cars back then, and a cockpit focused on the driver. It was a vision ahead of its time that arrived too early. Studebaker was already teetering on the edge of bankruptcy, lacking the resources to produce or promote the car properly. Despite rave reviews, the Avanti couldn't save the company. Only around 4,600 units were built in under 2 years. 1966, Bizerini 5300 GT. The Bizerini 5300 GT Strada is the product of pride, brilliance, and betrayal. Giotto Bizerini, the lead engineer behind the legendary Ferrari 250 GTO, left Ferrari after the infamous Palace Revolt in 1961. Instead of fading away, he set out to build a supercar of his own, one that could outshine Ferrari. And he did just that. The 5300 GT Strada featured a low-slung, long, aerodynamic body. Beneath the hood sat a Chevrolet-sourced 327 cubic inch V8, powerful, reliable, and easy to maintain. With a lightweight aluminum body, race-tuned suspension, and front mid-engine layout, it offered near-perfect weight distribution. The result wasn't just beautiful, it was fast, 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 6 seconds, with a top speed over 170 miles per hour. It stood toe-to-toe with the finest Italian exotics of the era. Yet high pricing, a small brand name, and limited marketing meant only around 133 units were produced. For true enthusiasts, though, it remains a hidden gem, a rebellious anti-Ferrari born from pure passion and defiance. 1961, Panhard PL17 Tigre. While most 1960s cars chase size and performance, the Panhard PL17 Tigre took the opposite route. Light, compact, efficient, and unmistakably French. Built by one of the oldest car makers in France, the PL17 was a post-war engineering marvel. The Tigre version, meaning tiger, was the sportiest variant, featuring a horizontally opposed 2-cylinder engine with only 848 cubic centimeters. But thanks to its ultra-lightweight design, just 1,800 pounds, and aerodynamic body, it produced 50 horsepower and could reach over 80 miles per hour. Impressive for such a small car. Not only was the PL17 extremely fuel efficient, around 60 miles per gallon, it also featured quirky styling, rounded body lines, separated headlights, and an unexpectedly roomy cabin. It embodied the do more with less philosophy that defines clever French engineering. Although it sold well in France, the PL17 remained virtually unknown outside Europe. When Citroën acquired Panhard, the entire PL line was phased out. 1967, Mazda Cosmo Sport 110S. While most of the world was still obsessed with traditional piston engines, Mazda quietly launched a revolution with the Cosmo Sport 110S, the first mass-produced car powered by a Wankel rotary engine. And it wasn't just a technical experiment, it was a bold vision of the future. This two-door coupe looked like a spaceship, sleek, narrow, with a long nose, short tail, and sweeping aerodynamic lines. Under the hood sat a tiny 982 cubic centimeter twin-rotor Wankel engine, producing 110 horsepower, impressive for such a small displacement. The Cosmo 110S could reach a top speed of around 115 miles per hour and sprint from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 9 seconds, rivaling many European sports cars of the time. But more importantly, it proved that Japanese technology wasn't just about imitation. It was capable of groundbreaking innovation. Mazda built only 1,176 units of the Cosmo Sport 110S, mostly for the Japanese domestic market. Though it never became a global icon, this car laid the foundation for Mazda's rotary legacy, one that would carry them to Le Mans and into the hearts of creative car lovers worldwide. 1965. Buick Riviera GS Grand Sport. If any car combined the charm of a gentleman with the brute force of a street brawler, it was the Buick Riviera GS Grand Sport. At a time when muscle cars flaunted loud designs and louder exhausts, the Riviera took a different path, elegant on the outside, but hiding a beast within. The Grand Sport version packed the Super Wildcat 425 cubic inch V8, paired with dual 4-barrel carburetors, producing 360 horsepower and a massive 465 pound-feet of torque. It could hit 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 7 seconds, right on par with Pontiac GTOs and Chevy SS cars of the era. What made the Riviera GS stand out was its perfect blend of power and luxury: leather upholstery, wood-grain dashboard, air conditioning, power seats, amenities most muscle cars lacked. Yet due to its high price and refined image, the Riviera GS never became a performance icon, though it certainly deserved to. 1966. Jensen CV8 Mark III. The Jensen CV8 Mark III was one of the fastest Grand Tourers in Britain during the mid-1960s, yet it remains forgotten, perhaps due to its quietly elegant demeanor. With its unusual offset quad headlights and lightweight fiberglass body, the CV8 looked like nothing else on the road. The biggest surprise sat under the hood. Not a British power plant, but a 6.3-litre Chrysler V8 from America. Producing 330 horsepower, paired with a TorqueFlite automatic and rear-wheel drive, the CV8 could sprint from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 6.7 seconds, blistering speed for its time. The CV8 Mark III was also among the first British cars to feature four-wheel disc brakes, air conditioning, and power windows, all considered luxury items in the 1960s. With only around 500 Mk3 units produced, the Jensen CV8 paved the way for the more famous Interceptor. 1964. Apollo GT 5000. Designed in California, the Apollo's body was handcrafted in Italy by Carrozzeria Intermeccanica, a coach builder known for its work with major European brands. The body and chassis were then shipped back to the US, where Apollo installed a 5.0-litre Buick Viv8 engine producing over 250 horsepower. The car had classic GT proportions, long hood, short rear, luxurious leather interior, and could accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in around 8 seconds. Impressive for a small startup with limited resources. Sadly, financial troubles meant only about 88 GT 5000S were built before the project was sold off. While it failed commercially, the Apollo GT 5000 is cherished by collectors today, a symbol of bold dreams. An American car with Italian design, a V8 heart, and an inspiring origin story you'll rarely find twice in automotive history. 1962, DAF Daffodil 750. At first glance, the DAF Daffodil 750 looks like a forgettable little car, basic, modest, and unassuming. But hidden beneath its simplicity lies a revolutionary invention: the variomatic transmission, the world's first widely used continuously variable transmission. DAF, a Dutch truck manufacturer, aimed to revolutionize driving. Instead of a manual gearbox, the Daffodil used a system of rubber belts and centrifugal pulley controls to seamlessly vary gear ratios, enabling smooth, clutch-free acceleration. Powered by a tiny 746 cubic centimeter two-cylinder engine producing about 30 horsepower, the Daffodil wasn't fast, topping out just above 60 miles per hour. But its simplicity, fuel efficiency, and ease of use made it ideal for older drivers, women, and urban commuters in the 1960s. Though it never made headlines like the supercars of its time, the DAF Daffodil 750 marked a major milestone in automotive history, paving the way for the modern CVT transmissions we see today. And that's why this humble little Dutch car earns its spot among the greatest forgotten cars of the 1960s. 1966 Matra Jet V. Before Ferrari or Lamborghini embraced mid-engine layouts for streetcars, a small French company, Matra, quietly led the way with the Jet. And the Jet Phi was the pinnacle of this line. Light, quick, and revolutionary in its layout. The Matra Jet Phi featured a Renault-sourced 1.1-liter four-cylinder engine, producing about 70 horsepower, mounted directly behind the driver, just like a race car. Thanks to its fiberglass body and featherweight 1,450-pound curb weight, the Jet could reach 105 miles per hour and offered nimble, razor-sharp handling. What made the Jet truly special wasn't its speed, it was its philosophy, bringing race car technology to everyday drivers. Matra, originally a defense and aerospace manufacturer, infused the car with aviation-grade design and performance DNA. Only around 1,500 Matra Jets were built between 1965 and 1967. Though Matra later shifted focus to quirky models like the Bagheera and Rancho, the Jet remains a forgotten pioneer. 1965 Glass 1700 GT. The Glass 1700 GT proves that even a small automaker could build a captivating sports coupe, despite the towering presence of giants like Porsche and BMW. Glass, best known for scooters and compact cars, collaborated with famed Italian design studio Frua to create something truly unique. The result was the Glass GT, a sleek two-door coupe with smooth curves and classic long hood, short-deck Grand Tourer proportions. Several engine options were offered, but the standout was the 1700 GT, featuring a 1.7-liter inline-4 making 100 horsepower, enough to reach about 110 miles per hour. Its lightweight build gave it nimble handling and confident cornering. Inside, the cabin was simple yet elegant, focused on a pure driving experience. Impressively, the Glass GT featured four-wheel disc brakes, a rarity among small cars in the early 60s. Although it received positive reviews, Glass lacked the financial muscle to compete. In 1966, BMW acquired the company, and the Glass GT quietly faded away. From Italian flying saucers to forgotten German coupes, these 12 cars prove one thing: greatness isn't always loud or famous. Each of these machines carries a story of innovation, boldness, and the desire to defy convention. Though time may have buried them, they remain priceless markers in automotive history. Some pioneered new technology, others embodied unfulfilled dreams, but all of them deserve to be remembered. Which of these cars captured your heart? Or do you know another amazing, underappreciated gem from the 60s? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because your stories enrich the car enthusiast community. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you won't miss the next automotive journey with us.